My sister stole my identity and spent a decade practicing medicine under my name. I am a doctor. I qualified 12 years ago. Last year, I was contacted by a medical indemnity organization about a claim filed against a patient I had never treated in a city I have never worked in. It took 3 months of investigation to establish what had happened. My sister, who failed her medical exams and left the profession 15 years ago, had been practicing as me. She had taken my name, my GMC number, my qualifications. She had treated patients for 10 years. My sister Rachel and I are close in age. We went through medical school together. We qualified at different times. I passed my finals on the first attempt. Rachel failed twice and did not pass on the third. She left medicine. I qualified and began my career. I believed we had both moved on from what was a painful period for her. I was wrong. Last year in February, I was contacted by a medical indemnity organization I had never dealt with regarding a negligence claim. The claim named me as the treating doctor. The patient I had allegedly treated was not one of mine. The dates put me in a hospital in a city I have never worked in. I assumed it was an administrative error of some kind and engaged a solicitor to address it. The solicitor's investigation took 3 months. What it uncovered was not an administrative error. Rachel had been practicing medicine in my name since approximately 2 years after she failed her finals. She had obtained fraudulent documentation using my GMC number, the General Medical Council registration number that is specific to me and is how I am legally authorized to practice. She had worked across 4 hospitals in 3 cities. She had treated, by the estimates the investigation produced, somewhere between 600 and 1,000 patients over a decade. Some of those patients were seriously ill. Some of the decisions she made in my name were clinical decisions with real consequences for living people. When the investigation had established what had happened, I called Rachel. I did not tell her what I knew. I asked how she was. She told me she had been having a hard time at work. I asked what kind of work she was doing. She said clinical work. She said it with no apparent awareness that it was the most extraordinary thing I had ever heard her say. I handed everything to the police and to the GMC the following week. My parents have told me I should have spoken to Rachel before going to the authorities. My mother said that Rachel had clearly been suffering, that impersonating me for a decade was evidence of a deep psychological need that deserved treatment, not prosecution. My father said that some of the patients Rachel treated might have had good outcomes and that I was catastrophizing. Am I the asshole? Update: 10 months after the initial contact. Rachel has been charged. The charges include fraud, practicing medicine without a license, and identity theft. The GMC investigation into how her documentation was obtained and how she operated undetected for 10 years is ongoing. There are systemic failures being examined that go well beyond what Rachel did. 5 patients have come forward in connection with the investigation. I cannot discuss the details of their situations, but I will say that the outcomes are not all what I would want them to be, and that this sits with me in a way I find difficult to describe. My parents are not speaking to me. My mother has told my aunt that she believes I destroyed Rachel's life. My aunt relayed this to me, I think by mistake. I have spoken to a lawyer about my own exposure. Whether my identity being used creates any professional liability for me. The answer is complex and still being worked through, but the current position is that I am not expected to bear clinical responsibility for decisions made using my stolen credentials. I think about the patients most. The 600 to 1,000 people who saw a doctor and believed they were in qualified, licensed hands. Some of them were in crisis. Some of them were frightened. They trusted the person in front of them with their bodies and their lives. They trusted me. In a sense, they trusted my name. I owe them the truth of what happened, even if all I can give them is the investigation. I have not spoken to Rachel since the day I called her. I do not plan to. NTA or AITA, should she have spoken to Rachel first? Comment below.